These are the scariest stories from podcasts.
I've found very intricate and mind-blowing satanic rituals and sacrifices out there.
What?
Oh yeah. So I was, which I found different stuff before. I'll find maybe where someone was doing some voodoo, some Santeria, sacrificed a chicken, whatever. All that's like kind of normal out there. That's not that crazy. But what I found this night was very crazy. Yeah, the police came and investigated it. It made the news. And that's the facility I was hunting. It's Aerojet. It's actually an abandoned space rocket facility from the Cold War, where they were developing and testing space rockets.
And what were you hunting there?
Pythons. I was out there, hunting these snakes, and this facility is you need special access. I was given special access by the state of Florida to remove pythons from out there. And nobody can just go back out there, but people do go out there, as you can see from the graffiti and different stuff like that. Usually to do stuff that they're not supposed to do. There's a lot of crimes committed out there. There've been murders out there, gang initiations, all kind of stuff.
So they have a pentagram that's...
So, yeah, it's a whole thing. So we go out there. The first thing I came across was a big rock pile with a upside down wooden cross on top, and a bunch of red spray painted upside down crosses all over. And you could tell the cross, I think, was burnt a little bit. And it wasn't, crazy, super crazy. It was like, oh, this is new. This wasn't out here a few days ago. And then I found this little doll. And as I kind of investigated that doll more, a little red scarlet snake actually came up and wrapped around her neck. And I picked up this, there it is. I picked up the scarlet snake, and which, it was kind of weird that there's a live snake, a red snake on this doll. And I've caught a lot of snakes in my life, and that is the only one that was bleeding out of its anus. There was blood coming out of its beehole, which, I don't know why, who knows what. It was a little weird to me. And then the night just kind of gets weirder from there. You see the red lettering in the other clip. It was a big Latin saying, like 100 foot long pretty much, on the road. I drove over it. We later translated it to, "Turn around, run, hide, he is watching you." Go further into the complex, and there's these big abandoned buildings. I go into the building, still just python hunting, who knows what these kids are doing out here. I thought it was strange, the Latin, your average kid just messing around, don't know Latin sayings like that. And then I come to this big room where there's the big pentagram. In the middle of the pentagram, there is a three-legged plastic chair with a blood stain in the bottom of it, where you could tell something was killed, sacrificed, whatever. On each wall, there's 3 walls. On each wall, there's upside down crosses, Latin sayings, and all kinds of stuff. As I'm kind of walking into the room, which, I don't want to sound like a psycho or anything, but that doll from earlier grabbed my leg. I don't know if I kicked it, I didn't see it, or what, but that doll from the rock pile somewhere else, I don't know if it was another doll or what, I never seen that other doll. I kick it, it seemed like it grabbed me. It's that same doll from earlier. Same thing with the cross on its forehead, the one eye cocked over, the other eye messed up. And so, it's very, very weird to me. Kind of like scared me.
So
right next,
it wasn't there, and then it was there. So
I didn't notice it. I didn't notice it.
You didn't carry it over there.
No, I didn't touch it.
So did anybody else? Was anybody else with you?
I had 2 guys with me that didn't even want to get out of the truck when they seen the first thing. They stayed in the truck.
So the same doll that you saw on the rock pile somehow made its way to where you were?
Yep. I don't know if it's a duplicate doll or what, but it's same.
Was there more than one of those dolls?
Only doll I seen. I'm not big on the whole supernatural thing, so I'm real doubtful of it in the first place. But to me, it was the same doll from earlier. I did not see it until it hit my foot. Right next to that doll, there is a saying on the ground that says the omen will follow, which to me was like the creepiest thing of the whole thing. Was like, you know, that if you interact with any of this spirit's gonna follow you. Which I'm Christian, I believe in God, and I wasn't worried, you know, I know the good Lord has my back. But very strange, right? Very strange. As we go through, there's all kind of different stuff. In one of the rooms, there's a sleeping bag with something inside of it. I don't think it was a body, anything like that. Police went out there, investigated it. I didn't investigate further past that. Something was inside the sleeping bag, and on the walls there was, looked like red spray paint, and it said, she was only 9, we gave her to the devil, like basically talking about sacrificing a child. And then you have this little girl's gown that's nailed to the wall with like a dark red stain on it.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
And what was the investigation? Did you follow up and find out what they found out?
I never heard anything from it. I'm assuming they never found much from it because I never heard anything from it.
Did they know it was human blood that was in the chair?
I don't know.
Or
I don't know. I would like to think it's red spray paint, but I don't know. For the sake of the story, who knows what it was.
What would cause someone to even, let's just pretend that was just fake and they had a doll and they spray painted everything. Like, what the fuck are you doing? And you're way
out there. Dude, that's such a commitment. That's like...
And the fact that there's a deep history of Satanism
to bring all that
attached.
stuff out there. Yeah. It's crazy.
And the scary thing is, you know that there are people that sacrifice people. That's happened. That's a real thing. Whether that's happening right now, it's just cognitive dissonance that keeps you from believing it's possible.
Premises, so this is a lady in Germany who was determined to be possessed. She was working with a priest, and then she never did receive complete deliverance from the demonic oppression, and then she eventually died.
At 23 years old, she died. And first, she started experiencing this at 16 years old. And she would go to 6 different voices she would make, right? It's Nero, Cain, Judas, Hitler, Fleischmann, I'm missing one. Lucifer. And each voice sounds different. And then eventually, I mean, you look at it right now. I want you to watch this. I'm going to get your reaction on this. This is right here Annalise Michel, who, if you listen to her voice, sounds like a regular voice speaking in German. If you want to play so the audience can hear it.
Ja, ich schwöre für die anderen Leiden, damit die nicht mehr kommen so. Aber dass die dann so schlimm ist und so grausam und so furchtbar, nee. Das denkt man leiden, das ist so leicht zu haben, wenn es dann wirklich schlimm ist.
Very normal. Okay, very normal. Fast forward to now. What she, go right there. So this is
Hitler.
Nein, Jeklitze! Der war mir Jeklitze! Oh, so der will auch nicht, oh, ich geh auch nicht, oh.
Sind wir schon 3?
Wie? Was ist so der Scheiße?
I hope you're not watching this late at night. If you are, here's Cain. Very disturbing. Okay, go to the next one. This is Nero.
Ruhe gibt's nur dort, wo die Liebe ist.
Ja, aber es gibt neue
Nur Hass.
Ja.
Wo nur Hass ist, da gibt's keine Ruhe.
Nein.
Go to that one. This is Fleischmann. Go to the next one. This is who?
This is Judas.
In eigenen Seminaren ausgebildet, denn die dürfen nicht auf die anderen Universitäten. Kapiert?
Klar. Ist da sonst noch etwas zu sagen?
Last one is who?
Weil
Go to
es,
it.
weil...
This is Lucy.
Im Namen deines Sohnes, ich bin Jungfrau. Namen Jesu befehle ich dir auszufahren.
Okay, you can pause it at this point. I said it's going to be disturbing.
I gotta leave.
But you know what though? Here's the part. So, first of all, I feel bad for this girl. She passed away, 23 years old. Okay, you're talking about somebody. The mother. That's the mother standing right next to her. I mean, they made a movie about this. This turned into a story that people watched, and even if you try, like yesterday, Vinny, who's outside, who doesn't like Vinny, got a shout out on this, but. Vinny, I said, try making this sound naturally. Mm-hmm. Like if you really try to yourself make this sound naturally, go try to do it. How does somebody do it naturally, right? Okay. You may say, I know certain people that could do it. But this is a little strange, Adam.
You can make a crazy voice.
Like there's people who they can do it.
But the
like
part,
it's not that hard to do, bro.
The part he says, where it's those 4 signs, unbelievable, out of nowhere power that comes in. Okay, like somebody on PCP. I don't know if you've seen somebody on PCP.
Yeah, they can lift the car up.
They can lift the. So that's that part. The other part is language spoken that you don't speak. Okay?
Yeah.
And then third one is saying information and things that you shouldn't know. Those 2, maybe not the first one, but those 2. It's a little. So when you see that, have you ever personally witnessed somebody like that?
Oh yeah, I've seen all those things
all the time.
You're being serious. You've seen that.
Day in the life.
Well, and because of the number of people that contact me, that it would be an ordinary part. I mean, I have no other exorcist who say they've never dealt with a case of possession in the years that they've been an exorcist. But some of us are publicly known, and some choose to remain anonymous. And those who are publicly known, we do receive a higher volume of people who reach out to us.
I have a good story for this one. So we've been doing this for years and years and years, but recently one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me in my entire life was I was alone in this mansion. Where was it? In Texas or something?
Yeah, Texas.
Oh shit,
and
here we go. They said it first. They said it first.
So, he doesn't like Texas?
No, I say Texas every episode.
Every episode.
So I'm glad y'all beat me to it, but go on.
But
what part of Texas?
Oh shoot.
Let's
no
not.
idea.
I don't know.
They were just about. They're about to say the most scariest.
I want a
scariest
visual,
part.
but go on.
So we were
Super
the first,
small town. We're talking like 1,000 people on this road.
we were the only ones that investigated it too, I believe. Like, or the first ones to investigate.
Okay, flex. All right. So I love saying it's like we were the only ones that investigated this. Yeah. Okay.
Clarify real quick.
But yeah, I'm alone in this like mansion by myself.
Where were you?
We're never getting through this.
We do this
Well, he's
thing now
alone.
where
I mean,
they're a
split up,
duo.
yeah.
They split up. You guys
Okay.
intentionally
She was in the
split up.
cellar.
Okay.
I was in like the upstairs of this mansion. Right?
Got it.
Right, what were you
Anyways.
wearing?
Anyways, but yeah, right. I was asking out to like the most haunted, like in the most haunted room, like the most haunted spirit or whatever, and like the door behind me just slammed.
What?
Just like actually, like not like a wind, like
a
whatever,
creaking
not AC.
closed
It
or-
was like violent.
There was
And
no
it was right-
windows open or anything.
So you were like, if there's a spirit here or ghost or
Yes,
something,
yes.
communicate with me, whatever, and then it happened right there.
But I said, close this door right now.
no.
I swear to
my
God. I swear to God. I was just like, if there's somebody here, close this right now. I start walking away from the door, slams it behind me. I immediately start crying.
I was gonna
You
say
can see
I
all
would.
over
I
my
would.
face.
Oh, I just got
Like,
chills.
See, and then people don't believe that. And then so what we did is for the next, we're there for like 12 hours. So we put a camera there after that happened. We're like, what if it happens again? We're 50 feet away, three or four rooms down the hall, and without us even being in the near vicinity, slams just as hard. Like 3
And
hours
you
later.
caught it on camera?
On
my
camera.
God.
It's
Same
on-
spirit, same room,
on our
yep.
channel. Like literally, no one's around. You can see the stream and hear our voices down the hall. No way we could possibly do that.
Is this like
Oh,
in the
wow.
moment? Is this like funny to you, or do you like? I would think about that for the rest of my
Like
life.
we look forward to being like, all right, let's do this podcast. We got to film this week. You guys, I feel like it would be like, fuck, we got to go catch some
I don't know
ghosts
how you do that.
again.
It's
I would
kinda
be like
traumatizing.
dreading it.
I mean, it's something that we've obviously been like jaded to now a little bit, but of course after that
when things
happened,
like that. I mean, you were not the same person for like
no,
5 days.
Yeah, it was like
You
I
could
was like
see it.
quiet for like a week.
In his eyes, like he was like never seen it.
was
Oh
bad.
my.
And man, I'll tell you what, this is going to sound crazy. If anybody wants to think I'm nuts, I've had one call where it's kind of funny to say this, where I just went, if there's such a thing as demonic possession, this might be it. And, because you deal with unstable people all the time. you know. But this one call I had, it was just like, you know, you're not thinking that when you're on the call. You're not thinking, oh, that's just the devil. I've seen The Exorcist. I can say, you know, the power of Christ compels you. Let's move on.
What do you mean by call? Like,
I got called to I was working with this young officer, and we got called up to this house up here on the mountain over by, it's up here on top of High Ridge, Franklin Hills area, way up here. Beautiful, beautiful neighborhood.
Yeah.
And the call comes in on the computer, and it says, this guy wants his wife taken to the psychiatric center. He's just looking, you know, the officers to give her a ride. And I was kind of like, man, that's your wife, that's your problem, man. You take her. But I felt like a dick when I got there because it was anything but. We get there, we knock on the door, and this elderly man opens, and he says, hey, you know, my wife's been in the psych center for months. They've let her go, and she needs to go back. And I'm afraid to put hands on her because I don't want to fight her. I don't want her to fight back, and I don't want to be accused of hurting my wife. We've been through enough. I'm a jerk, man. She starts telling me a little bit about her, right? He says, well, she's upstairs. You know, she's been out, I don't know, a few weeks, but she's not eating. She hasn't showered. She's not taking care of herself. She's not on her meds. And she's just been pacing up and down, back and forth, just pacing. And he goes, be careful where you step when you go up there, because there's blood along the floor. All right, because she'd been dragging her feet, and it just like gnawed her feet down. It was causing them to bleed out.
Jesus.
Yeah. So, right then, their son comes out of the kitchen or something. He's like, hey, what's up, you guys? We're like, hey, what's up, man? And I notice he has those t-shirts, those wife beaters, that what they're called, the tank top, real tight. And I notice he has fresh ink on. He just got tatted up because he's got ointment. I just catch this, and so we're all talking. And, you know, the dude says, you know, well, go upstairs, just be careful. She's up there. This is kind of already eerie. He's like, be careful, you know. All right, man.
Wait, were you by yourself?
I had an officer with me. I had a young female with me. And as we walk up the steps, beautiful home. I can't reiterate how lovely this home was. As we come up off the steps, there's these double doors. And man, like, it's like right out of the movies. There she is. She's straight back, and she's just kind of taking that torque stance where she just tweaked, you know, and her hair is just stringy and matted down, you know, just all matted out. And her skin is just pasty, just like, and she's doing this breathing like, I'm going, fuck. I'm going, man, and she pops up, right? She just starts walking towards us. I'm going like, oh shit. And that's like, I'm going, like, what do you do? I'm like, hey, come here. Give me your hands. Let's talk this out. Like, no, that's not gonna work, man. And she's just, and she walks right towards me, and she beelines it right back to where she was started, and she's just going back and forth, dragging her feet, and she's like hyperventilating, and her body's jerking. I'm going like, what the fuck? No, I'm well versed in crazy bitch because I've dated a few of them. But this was on another level, man. This was on another level. And I get the officer I'm with starts talking to her, and they're like facing each other, and this lady, she just looks at me. She just turns and looks at me, right? And she shallows her breathing, and she's looking at me, and I'm going like, what is she doing, man? I felt like red flag 1, like something in her was watching me. I know that sounds nuts. That sounds like when we're looking at each other now, it's not like that. Like something was, I'm going like, this is fucking weird. So right then, their son comes upstairs, and he sees I'm engaged in this. He goes, hey man. I'm like, what's up, dude? He goes, I'm a Christian rapper. And I'm going like, what? He goes, yeah, man, I drop beats for the Lord. I'm like, okay, and I'm telling my house. Yeah, I'm going, let's get her. We gotta get her. Let's get her out of here. And then right then, this old man comes up, and he has something in his hand, and I'll get to that in a second. He has something in his hand. And the kid does something. Red flag number 2. Kid takes a key out, and he unlocks his bedroom door, and a deadbolt. I'm going, who does that?
Right.
I mean, you don't even have keys on this, probably on your doors, you know, to the bedrooms here.
Regular.
Who has keys?
Yeah, the little inside lock on the doorknobs.
And this is also custom where it's a deadbolt.
Yeah.
Like, who does that? But I'm thinking I'm not thinking. It's just like things are like, and he says, hey, check this out. And he has this little machine. It says you can drop, you know, I'm like, oh, okay, dude. He has his Bible, and he sees that I have tattoos. He goes, do you have to cover those up? I'm like, yeah, man. He goes, check this out. He shows that tattoo now, and it's this angelic Christian whatever this thing is, like a protector, a heavenly protector type thing, some religious thing. And he sees I'm watching this, and I'm telling the officer, let's go. Let's get her going. The whole time she's engaged in me, and the kid says something. I'll never forget this. Now, again, I say demonic, or this, if it's something else, it's not like Hollywood, man. They're not crawling on the walls and heads spinning around and these voices and all that cool shit. No, this is real. And this kid says, sir, I'm like, what's up, man? He goes, this is nothing. I'm like, what do you mean this is nothing? He goes, you should hear it at night. I go, what? Jeez. Because you should hear it at night. I go, this is your mother. You refer to her as it? That's not my mom, bro. I don't know what that is. He goes, and that's why I lock my door. I went, fuck this, man. So we get her, right? We're like, tell the officer, we got to take her. Well, then the old man standing there with that thing in his hand. You know how nowadays we have our phones and I can show you pictures, or just send you pictures, like my daughters, my family, whatever.
Right.
Jiu-jitsu, whatever we're doing. He has a Rolodex, like 3x5 pictures that maybe your parents had, like a little album.
Right.
And they had just moved here from maybe Idaho or Iowa. Again, lovely home. He's flipping through it, and he gets to this picture of this woman in the kitchen in that house. And that was her, and she's stunning. And I'm like, is this her? He goes, yeah. I go, what happened? He goes, we don't know. They don't know. I said, is she an addict? Is she on drugs? History of any of that?
But wait, they don't know who she is?
No, that's his wife. They don't know what happened to her, according to her husband.
Oh, so the kid said that's not his mom.
Yeah, what he's saying, what he's seeing, like what she's doing
in her current state.
Yes, he goes, that's not my mom.
Okay.
That's not, like, what he's saying is that's not the woman I know.
Right.
Yeah, that's mom. But
so he deadbolts his door at night because of her.
Yes.
The demons come out.
Whatever it is, man. Fuck. Yeah. And we ended up, there's no dramatic, heroic ending. We ended up getting her to the psychiatric center. We gave her a ride. The breathing continued, her demeanor continued, and we turned her over to the psych center. Her husband was there, walked her in, and that was the end of it. Don't know whatever happened. But it makes you wonder, like, what's going on? Like, for her own son to go, lock it up, and he's turning it all made sense. It was like one of those Kaiser Sosa moments from The Usual Suspects, where everything comes together, man. Like, it all made sense. He's just protecting himself. He's turning his life over to God, his talent for God, Bibles and tattoos of God, this. Wow, man, this must really be affecting this guy, man. So, oh yeah. I mean, is it just some mental illness? I don't know,